I wanna start in a very weird way, yeah? So let's talk as if we are like talking to each other, yeah? Like we're
Mm,
not actually recording, okay?
yeah. Okay, we're starting. I'll start. Okay.
No, I start.
I start.
Okay, you start.
Okay, you start. You start. It's okay. I will follow up.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Um okay. Welcome back to No Boundaries, and this is the Who's Next series with ABD.
And Fardan.
In this series, we interview young professionals who have lived, studied, and worked in more than one country. In today's episode, we are joined by an individual who lived most of his life in the UAE, graduated as a mechanical engineer, and then moved to Canada to finish his master's in mechanical engineering. He's an individual who dives into different fields and excels no matter what his responsibilities are.
And that individual is Humam. Hello, Humam. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm glad that I'm with you guys.
So Humam, could you tell us a bit about yourself, like a short introduction? Like, what are you doing now? What have you done? And where all have you lived? And anything else that can be interesting for our listeners?
So I'm doing now my master's in mechanical engineering, and I was living in UAE. I'm originally from Syria, and now I moved to Canada to finish my master's. Uh, we studied together in Heriot University, a bachelor in mechanical, and currently I'm going to start my internship that is related to my studies, and this will help me launch my career and explore my options.
That's interesting. So, I guess you grew up in UAE. Could you tell us a bit about your school life in UAE? Like, how was your school like? How were the teachers and students? Anything else?
School life was actually challenging. I studied in Arabic private school. The teachers and students were nice, and if I would put my kids in the school in the future, I think I would definitely put them in Arabic school to keep their culture.
And during your life, during like high school or primary school, what were some important lessons that you like came out with?
Um, I would say that you have to like believe in what you are doing and not just don't believe what other people say. So because during school life there is a struggle, but I genuinely think that with struggle comes ease. So it's good to do work on time and finish your studies, etc., in order to get you to the next level.
Yeah, that I would agree on that. It's school life. That's what it teaches you because you have a lot of assignments with deadlines and like you have exams coming up. So it's always better to do it on time. But I've seen most of them from my school, and even when we studied at universities, they never end up doing things on time, and like they keep putting the assignments till late. Like even I remember quite a few times. I mean, we used to complete work, and they used to go around, looking at different assignments or asking our assignment when it's done, which is not a really healthy way of doing stuff. Anyways, every people have their own priority. So, Humam, um, so during your school life, when did you find your passion for engineering?
Mm, that's interesting. After I finished my high school, um, many of our friends they decided to go either med school or to be a lawyer or to continue or to take business. And I had a more interest in science and math. And I thought that it's more valuable to go into engineering, where you can apply the practical knowledge.
Mhm. That's interesting. And why did you choose to do bachelors in mechanical, and why specifically at Heriot Ward? Did you look at other universities and try to look at the different outcomes that you would get after you complete the degree, or how did you go about that?
Mm, that was actually very challenging because after high school, um, I was like, okay, should I study in UAE? Should I go study abroad? Um, what's the benefit of going abroad? I'm gonna spend a lot of time outside, um, away from family, and that was a main factor that I decided, okay, it's gonna be in UAE. Um, which university? There are like the private universities or the government universities, and there's the first time I visited Harriet Watt, I was like, this is not gonna work because I live in another city, would have to commute. However, it was more valuable to take it because you get a degree from another from abroad. It's as if you studied in another country, where it will open doors for you. Basically, the idea of it is just that it's a certificate. Of course, you're learning a lot during your studies, etc. But I was thinking about it more as a degree that's gonna open another door for me, which helped me to move to Canada actually. And why mechanical engineering? Because I always have the passion to know about stuff, how it works, from A to Z. And in mechanical, they cover a lot about this.
That's interesting because even in mechanical, you cover, like for example, a bit of electronics, a bit of fluid mechanics, thermodynamics. So you get to get the whole big picture, and then you get to decide in which field you want to specialize in. I guess we all three did the right, right choice of doing mechanical. I don't think we can go wrong in that.
Yeah, and I'm sure from what you said, your decision to study at Heriot Watt was fruitful, and you went to Canada now. So, how was life in as a student in Heriot Watt, and how was mechanical engineering?
Um, studying at Harriet Watt University was a privilege because we met uh, we met you guys, and we had the privilege of studying with, with other cultures, studying with professors that did their careers outside, some of them from Australia or from another countries, and that was bringing different knowledge to us. Um, and I found that like my classmates in first year, they were not really focusing on what exactly they're supposed to do or they are required to finish their assignments or work, etc. For me, I honestly I thought in the first year more like it's just a transition from high school to the university life. It covers a lot of what you studied in high school, and that help you to do this transition. Because for me, I did in another language. I did it in Arabic. So when this was the first time I'm studying in English, so that was a bit just an eye opener on things and how to just continue studying.
Mhm. That's interesting. Even I remember when we were doing like when we went for the class. I think the first year we had like close to 100, people, and we could meet people from different parts, like from lots of Arab countries and some people from the UK, from the Russia, and it was really nice because even for me, I studied in an Indian school, and when I went to like mechanical engineering, it felt nice, like interacting people from with different cultures. Yeah. And Humam, like towards the end of your bachelor's, what plans did you have to do after your bachelor's, and how did you end up pursuing it?
Mm, my plans were actually like, of course, to start the career, and to continue in master. I was both either start to work in company, or continue my master's. I did some like internship after that, and I got the acceptance this university from Carleton, so I moved to Canada to pursue the masters
Hmm.
in MN.
Okay. So I guess even Canada has MASC and MN. So could you tell a bit about why you chose to do MN, and was it just Carleton that you looked at, or did you even look at other universities in Canada?
Um, so basically, here in Canada, you have the MEng and MSc. The MEng covers more the practical side. It's more project orientated. MSc, you'd have to do the thesis. However, in MEng, you're just finishing courses. The courses that you are interested in. For example, I'm interested in renewable energy, 3D printing, manufacturing, and this specific university that I'm studying in has a unique approach because it's a joint program you can do with another university, which is U Ottawa. So by the time I was applying for both, but I didn't know that it was connected. So I mean, it's a joint degree. When I got accepted from Carleton, then I thought, okay, that's interesting because Carleton give you more technical courses, and Yoto give you more, I would say, business or more managing um, courses. And yeah, this differences in MEng or MSc just basically depending on you what exactly you want. You want it to be uh, in research, or you are looking on continuing in the projects, etc. And during bachelor degree, it was also BM, so that boosted me up to continue in MEng as the same field.
Yeah, I mean, it is really interesting to know that, like, once you are used to one style of like learning or teaching, you just want to stick to it. But aside from what's it called? Aside from studies, living abroad like shapes you in like different ways. How was your life, or how was your experience living in Canada?
Life in Canada was very different to what we are used to in UAE. But I would say that studying abroad in Malaysia during my third year, I went and I did like a campus transfer because Harriet Watt has the privilege of having different campuses. So I transferred there, did one semester, and that actually helped me to cope with this transition. I would say here you have, of course, different people, different weather, different terrains, and it's kind of difficult first to start in a new place, but it's rewarding at the end.
Yeah, that's interesting to hear. And could you also say like how different it was when you compare to UAE, Syria, and maybe even Malaysia now? Like, how was the different? How was it living in different places, and where do you think you would fit better in a longer term?
Mm, of course, it's a different lifestyle. It's different. You need a different mindset, I would say. In Canada, it's more. You need to focus more on your work, on your study. In UAE, for me, it was uh, it was more maybe relaxed, I would say. Here it's more tense because you have to finish stuff. You need to um, do everything. And I would say in Syria, I haven't visited much. Only in the summer I used to go. Um, and I would say that probably a bit better in UAE.
So, how do you manage your time in Canada? Like, we're going back to Canada now. How do you manage your time in Canada as a working student?
Um, Actually, during the studies, it's good to have a balance of work and study. So managing time is very tricky, and basically you just have to see and prioritize your work and try to do the balance. Basically, um, this will really help you in the time management. And work is flexible, depending on your time or your schedule. Here, people are like understanding, and they know that you are like if you're working a part-time job, that they know that either you're studying and have uh, assignments, deadlines, exams at specific times. So when you request for a vacation or so, it's very easy to get it. And this will help you to do it. It's just the idea is to plan ahead and see if you know that there is a week coming that it's very tense and you have exams, you can take the, the part-time work off and focus on your studies. Um, but it's very rewarding to have this because just just studying will I mean just working a part-time will help you if you're studying full time. And here many people are doing this. Like it's a main theme that if they're working either doing like two jobs or they are studying and working. That's how life in Canada, I guess.
That's good to hear that the employers are more flexible with the students because students need to have like flexible times because certain times you will have more stuff to do, certain times you'll be much more free. And I guess you have done good in the university while working, so I guess you're like an example for people who are thinking if they could manage studies along with the part-time job. So Humam, this is a lot of thing. This is a thing that we heard from a lot of people. The Canadian experience, like a lot of professionals, like engineers and doctors, for example, from outside Canada who move to Canada, immigrate, mostly end up working in like restaurants and supermarkets. So why is it so? Do you think it's very difficult to find jobs in these fields, or is it because of not having a local experience?
That's an interesting question, and it's a main theme here, as you said in Canada. Um, Ever studied like outside Canada? When they come, they get shocked by this because they are like, oh, my degree is not recognized, or I cannot work in my field because of this, or my experience outside maybe doesn't count for some. That's how the system, I would say here, and that's why they start these jobs, as in, like you said, in restaurants and supermarkets, etc., until they finish their degree. So in this time, they are studying. They're not just doing this work. Um, they call it here like a survival jobs. So these works in restaurants, supermarkets, is just to pass the time and finish their degree. That will open doors for them. Um, and then they can work in their field and excel in getting the Canadian experience and having doing these jobs before. give them also credits or like references that at this time he wasn't only studying, he was also working to support himself or the family, etc.
Mm. That's really sad to hear because people who have engineering or doctor degrees from outside, they have to still come there and do a local degree again. I mean, there should be some sort of, like recognition, or they should get like, uh, like sort of grading or like assessment before they even come to Canada so that they don't come and waste more of their time trying to, fit in the work category they want to be.
I agree. I would like to like follow up on that. Yeah, because I forgot to mention that you should like make an equivalency, like the West World Education Services. They equivalent your degree because even before you apply for another university, you need to check like your bachelor or whatever degree you studied. But I'm not saying that it's not recognized at all. However, um, it's kind of sad, yeah, because they prioritize more the people who studied here, and it goes by graduating and then doing an internship and gaining this experience, which will help them to find the permanent or full-time job in their interest.
Mhm. Thank you, Humam, for your insightful experience and life in Canada. Do you have any final words for our listeners?
Yes, of course, I would say that prioritize what you're doing and believe in the things you have interest in and go ahead and do it. And good luck with everything.
Mhm. Thank you for listening to this episode, and we hope that this episode was insightful as well as the coming episodes. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to get updates on our new content. You can also get in touch with Humam if you would like to know more about him, or if you have more questions about life in Canada, he's the person you need to get in touch with.